That is now live. There we go. Hey.
Hello, I'm Brian Blessed, and welcome to the stream!
It's like he's in the room.
Let's get this going, shall we?
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be anyone around. It's very quiet in the IRC.
Well, I don't know. It's nice weather over here. Well, after the thunderstorms. I'm glad to still have power. This killer thunderstorm moved through here. But no.
Yeah, we had a an hour ago, right? Okay. We had a thunderstorm on the weekend. It was pretty bad.
Oh, we had one the weekend as well, with several.
Yeah. There hasn't been one today, but I don't know whether it's just not reached us yet.
I'm recording?
Yeah, I've got 2 hours, 28 minutes. That should be fine. Oh, somebody's joined the channel. Good.
Yeah, I think people are lost faith in us actually doing a show because we always start so late these days.
True.
But shit happens.
Yeah, it certainly does.
Not later, and let's start this.
Yeah, okay.
Ready to go?
Ready? Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Recording?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm recording too, so
yep.
Let's go then.
Linux Outlaws is proudly sponsored by Bytemark UK. Check out their Big V platform for all your web hosting needs. Find out more at bytemark.co.uk. Six Gun Productions. New media, new rules.
Good. Now we know where to aim our guns.
Hey, you bunch of creeps! Welcome to Linux Outlaws, episode 356. I'm Fab, still in Isernhagen in Germany. I dismounted from the motorbike to do this podcast.
Good man, good man. Yep, and this is Dan coming to you from Liverpool in the UK. It is Monday, the 4th of August, as we're recording this. Just after some thunderstorms, apparently, in Germany there.
Yep.
So thankfully, I don't think we've had any here. Well, there hasn't been any today. There was yesterday. Fingers crossed. You know, you never know. Our connections will be good, and the Google gods will shine on us.
Maybe the Hangout recording will work for change.
That'd be nice. Yeah. So we're back. It's episode 356. I had to look at the notes. I'll admit that there.
It's been so many episodes. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I'd like to say I remember every single one, but I'd be lying.
I was thinking today we're coming up to 365 slowly, which will be the year of Linux Outlaws.
One every day.
Yeah, I still remember when they had that year of TLLTS, which I think classifies as torture. Although I'm not sure listening to us like.
Well, I was going to say, but I don't think we're exactly. Yeah, I don't think we're exactly high up on there. Like, but doesn't their show last like a year anyway? So you know, it seems to. I know people will laugh because our show can often be like up towards 2 hours, but that's can be a long show. All right, and so we got some stuff to mention. Fab mentioned that he's dismounted. Is that right? Dismounted his motorbike in order to do the show today. But you've been driving around quite a lot, apparently.
Well, I've just been driving around. On the weekend, we went to the parents, not on the motorbike. Rented a car. Got a Mini, new 2015 Mini, which is a great car. Mini Cooper. I don't like BMWs usually, and this is built by BMW, but it's an awesome car. It's like really fast.
Yeah.
It was like 240 or something.
Yeah, another car that was at one time a British, symbol of pride is now owned by a German company.
It's got this amazing switch. It's got like normal mode, eco mode, and sports mode.
Turbo or something?
Yeah, well, basically, it's like I don't know. I also like the way it's like the whole thing basically just like drives. It drives like a go-kart. It's hard to describe. I'm trying to describe.
Okay.
Yeah, how it's not very comfortable if the road if there's bumps. Like I was driving 180 going down like on the autobahn, coming down like a bit of a slope, and then at the bottom there were like I don't know, the basically the tarmac wasn't even. They had like a little bit of rolls, and the thing took off like once or twice, like whoo.
So the suspension's not so good then.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's just very sports. I think it's like this on purpose.
Right.
My mother used to have an original Mini back in the day, like one of the British ones, one of the proper ones, the one that was actually small. This, yeah.
Sorry.
That's saluting.
I just had to do a salute there. Sorry.
A double rimmer.
Yeah, I didn't know. You're right. Actually, it was a single.
Yeah, they were basically when they were still small, right? This one's bigger than a Twingo. I think they're called Mini, but they're actually huge. And they used to drive like that as well. They were basically go-karts. They were that small.
Yeah. Well,
I think they tried to mimic that with the current suspension and the whole wheelbase and everything, and it's quite cool.
Yeah, they were quite famous for being quite good for doing crazy stunts in, because they basically just had the way they were designed. They just had, it sounds stupid, but the wheels were exactly in the corners, so there's like four wheel in every corner, and you could do stupid things like go upside down and all that. The Italian Job, obviously, people remember that. The film showed that off pretty well. So
yeah, the new one actually has the new minis in it, which is weird.
What I don't get with the Mini, I mean, it's a classic car and all that, but now they make them, like, they make 4x4 Minis, which are quite big, and you think, what the fuck are they doing? Why would you have a 4x4
Because everybody
Mini?
because everyone wants SUVs or something, I don't know, that's stupid. And the new Mini Cooper is still quite cool, but it was way too expensive. And it's like, it's 7.6 liters. On 100k, so it's a huge, it's got a lot of horsepower. It's really fast, but that's too much for just driving. It was fun for the weekend and driving down to Duisburg and basically flying down. Yeah, it was quite cool. But
did you arrive earlier than you left?
Yeah, no, it wasn't that fast.
Okay.
But now I'll be driving around more on the motorbike that uses less fuel. Cool. I think I'm going to attempt going to Hamburg in the week.
Okay.
After work, which
on the motorbike.
Yeah, which if you want to evade the autobahn, which is what I want to do because that isn't fun on a motorbike. It's probably 3 hours drive. Okay. If I don't get lost, and I wrote down the route, and it's quite complicated, so I might get lost. Well, we'll see.
GPS, dude.
Well, not really, because it's quite nice motorbike, and I don't wanna ruin it by putting like a battery adapter on there, and like Google Maps on a phone for 3 hours.
Yeah, true. The battery probably wouldn't last.
Well, I've got OpenStreetMap navigation, but also then it's not. I don't want to put a holder for the phone on the bike.
No,
because it looks shit. So I have a thing you put on the tank where you can put maps in. You can put a phone in there, but it's not ideal, and it's also vibrating a lot. So it's like really hard to read the actual phone, and in sunlight even worse. So actually, what I want to do, which I want to do for a longer time, I'm actually going back to maps. I bought some really cool the maps you can draw on. And yeah, I want to do that because I noticed. I noticed this before, and I actually bought some other maps for the area around here when we moved here. And I've also printed out some OpenStreetMap maps because they're really good. But I want to get back to reading actual maps because I noticed that I can't read actual maps anymore.
Yeah, you forget.
I'm doing everything after the bloody turn-by-turn navigation, and you forget where to go. Like when you can read maps, you know the route. You still look at like landmarks and shit. You know where you are. If you just do turn-by-turn navigation, you're driving to the countryside, you don't notice anything. It's horrible. So I want to get off that, and it's with an old school retro motorbike like that. I want to do the We're gonna do it the proper way with maps and a fucking compass.
The compass, otherwise known as a compass. So the big question, burning question, is: are you taking the typewriter? Surely that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna strap it to the back of the motorbike.
Yeah, and then you can write a review of the journey as you're doing the journey.
Oh God, I should take a picture of that. I should somehow strap the typewriter to the bike.
Yeah, you could do
a photo project. Yeah, well, if I'm not there next week to do a show, get a search party out. I'll be somewhere between Hanover and Hamburg, lost in the boondocks, and it's the fucking boondocks. I mapped the route. There's all in between there if you don't go by the motorway, basically.
Is it just full of like rednecks, equivalent of rednecks who will be like,
pretty
we
much,
don't like outsiders around here, boy, only in German, obviously.
Pretty much. And there's if you go north from here, there's a huge military base that's cordoned off where you can't go. There's like a road in the middle, and then you can only go on the outside. This is where Munster is. It's a very famous.
Munster. Sorry.
Yeah, it's spelled exactly the same way. There's a tank base there. There's lots of tank stuff. There's a tank battalion in Hanover, huge one, which I talked about before, and Unterlüss, which is close to you as well, where they make all the tank ammunition. And Munster is basically where they do the maneuvers. That's where the Heath is, Lüneburg Heath. And that's where they do all the tank driving stuff.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah. And then
Sorry, I've just done it again. I said go on, and then I carried on talking.
No, you go on.
No, I was just going to not completely off topic. I was just going to say Herman also quite a German name, so Herman Munster could have been German.
Yeah,
we don't know.
I think that's where they got that from.
Right. Okay. So, yeah.
But it's historically appropriate. Today actually is the 70th anniversary of Anne Frank getting arrested, and she died in a year later in Bergen-Belsen concentration camp.
Yeah.
Which is really close here. Which is actually which is right where I'll go right past that on the way to Hamburg.
Wow.
That's actually close to Munster as well.
Yeah, that'd be a sobering sight, I imagine. Is there anything there? Is there like a memorial there or something?
There's a memorial there.
I was going to say there'd have to be, wouldn't there?
Memorial there. Yeah.
Anyway, well, you mentioned this is a great link. I've just thought of this. You mentioned Anne Frank. Famously, the Anne Frank Museum. Frank Museum is in Amsterdam, and you've been talking Dutch apparently.
Yeah, that's where she. Of course, that's where she was hid. Where they hid her, and where she was arrested as well. I discovered this week that apparently my Dutch is flawless, which I didn't know. Well, CT gets translated into Dutch. So my somebody on Twitter, Milo van der Linden. See, my Dutch is so crap. I can't even pronounce his name. Van der Linden? I don't know. He sent me a picture of my my cloud article. Which is like cloud op slot. I can't do Dutch, but it's like bestanden in the cloud versleutelen. I can't pronounce it for shit, but I can kind of read. If you speak German, you can kind of read Dutch. Cloud's obviously cloud, and versleutelen. Sleutel is.
I could have worked out that cloud was cloud.
Well, it means versleutelen means to encrypt.
Okay.
I can kind of work it out, but I can't pronounce it. Like, I can't do. You have to do too many.
Yeah, Dutch is very difficult to pronounce. A lot like Welsh. Welsh is a lot of noises in it.
Being strangled, basically. Half the language is like being strangled.
It's a bit like Klingon or something. It sounds a little bit like. I can't do Dutch very well. The only thing I can say in Dutch is smoking a pancake, which is. You have a smoking a pancake?
The only thing I can say is apparently, my written Dutch is flawless. Thanks to the CT translator.
Even though you didn't write it, yeah.
Well, I did write it.
No, I know, but you didn't write the Dutch version. Somebody else did. Somebody converted it.
With a little help from my friends.
Mm-hmm.
As Joe Cocker sang.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, so we need to mention, we mentioned it a while ago, that there's going to be another OggCamp this year. OggCamp, if you don't know, I don't know how you don't know if you're listening to this show, but it's a 2-day bar camp kind of style event. It's about free culture, free open source, free software, all kinds of stuff. We had loads of crafty stuff going on last year, people making T-shirts and printing bags and stuff, and then we had all the geeky stuff as well. That's going to be in Oxford in the UK in October, 4th and 5th of October. We mentioned that October, yeah, as I dubbed it, in Oxford. No, it doesn't really work. Oxford?
Oxford.
Oxford
Yeah, that works.
man. Yeah, that's good. Oxford, yeah. Just add an S and you've got Oxford, yeah. I'll just email the marketing department about that. So, Oxford, get that on a T-shirt. So we mentioned that our first sponsor was of the Ubuntu project, sponsored by Canonical, which is fantastic. And then we have our second gold sponsor that we should have mentioned last week, really, but I completely forgot. A magazine that I'm sure everyone listening to this show will know. If you don't, you should do. The good people at Linux Voice have come on board, and they're going to help us out and help promote the event and get involved and stuff, and that's really cool.
See, I had no idea. This is complete news to me.
Yeah, it was. It probably got lost in a sea of emails.
Well, I have 350 unread emails in my personal account. Mm-hmm. And that's after clearing out the spam. It must be somewhere in there, I'm guessing.
Probably.
Sorry.
Well, I'll confess that I only remembered to mention this week because I listened to the Ubuntu podcast the other day, and Mark mentioned it, and I went, oh, fuck, I should really mention that. So I wrote it down as they were talking about OggCamp, yeah. But I totally forgot otherwise. So thank you to Mark and the others over there for reminding me.
We're stealing Ubuntu UK's podcast content.
Yeah.
Jeff G, who's in the IRC, came in on the Dutch topic with a very good thing I want to mention. He said Dutch is spoken chiefly outside the mouth, I think.
That's probably true, yeah. That's probably
and apparently apparently I write good Dutch, he says in Dutch.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Very good. So if you want to come to OggCamp, tickets are available. I should mention that. Come along. There's free tickets available, or you can make a donation. It's totally up to you. There's no obligation to do that. If you go to oggcamp.org, that's oggcamp.org, you should really get yourself along there, because it's looking really good. We've got a really interesting group of people, as always. Lots of regulars I see posting up, oh, I'm going to be at OggCamp this year. Some people are camping again after I in 2011 said, oh, wouldn't it be great if everyone was camping? And it was like OggCamp, and then I didn't camp. Everyone else did, because the suckers. Anyway, so,
I believe Pete Ken got a yacht. That was the favorite yacht.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he got a yacht. Yeah, that's right. And then he couldn't put it down, or he couldn't put it up, or I don't know, something. Something went wrong. Fucking hell, mate! Fucking poles everywhere. Fucking whatever. So I imagine. So yeah, come along to OggCamp, 4th and 5th of October, and we should mention it more often. We should mention it like almost every show, and we never do. So go and check it out.
Other awesome UK community bar camps are available.
Oh yeah, true.
Well, no, actually not.
There's not as many this year, no.
No, not really. We're the OggCamp's the only open source, free freedom, free software, free community, free culture.
Free entry.
Yeah, it's there's no alternative.
Yeah, there isn't really. No, not in the UK. Of course, there's like FOSDEM if you can get to that.
Well, that's a very different thing as well.
FOSDEM's a big thing. That's like it's not really an industry event, FOSDEM, but they're so ingrained in the industry that like everybody there is like having meetings with, I've got to have a meeting with the guy from Cisco and all that shit, and it's great, and you get all the kind of beardy people there as well, and the community people, but it is much more of a big kind of event.
It's bigger, and their hallways are colder than ours. Yeah,
and you can't move in the hallways without getting squashed against a wall usually, or squashed against somebody.
Brussels is a madhouse. A madhouse!
It's like Charlton Heston now. Yeah. We've gone from Brian Blessed to Charlton Heston. You are the man of 27 voices.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so, with that, we should probably mention some Linuxy stuff. And there's nothing...
yeah.
You damn dirty ape! No, I can't do Charlton Heston. I was going to say we should mention something kind of Linux related, since the show's called Linux Outlaws. Mm-hmm. And there's not much more Linux related than the Linux kernel, I would argue. That's very Linuxy. So if you
Linuxy as it gets.
yeah, pretty much. So yeah, there's a new Linux kernel out now. Came out on the 4th of August, which is today, in fact. And as we're recording this, version 3.16, Linux kernel 3.16 says you just got your ass whooped. No.
I didn't even
Why didn't nobody say that?
Yeah, stone cold.
Linux 3.16, yeah. Says. Anyway, so there's a new version out now. Brings improvements for Radeon chips, apparently. Some better Intel graphics support, hardware support for GeForce cards, blah, blah, blah. Apparently there's a better, more stable ButterFS, or BetterFS, if you want to call it that, and NFS driver, or NFS drivers, I should say. They're separate. Performance boosts, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, fast storage hardware apparently benefits from these advances. Benefits from advances in the block layer infrastructure. I imagine right now Chris is going mad. Chris Proctor, yeah, over the block layer structure.
I was disappointed. I read the release announcement and Linus wasn't angry at all.
I think he's finally got off that desk.
Yeah, I think he's caught up to his desk for once.
That's pretty cool. I do like the idea that he doesn't actually have control of his desk and somebody else does. And like Jim Zemlin or someone. No, I was thinking more like Jim Zemlin because he's his boss, isn't he? Is there and he's like, let's just turn Linus's anger level up a little bit. Here we go, and just tweak it up a bit. Fucking desk getting away. Yeah, it could be something like that. But there's a new Linux kernel out now, 3.16, is available now.
Whoop your ass.
Just whooped your ass. Yeah, it's just opened a can of whoop ass on you. Yeah, some fairly big releases this week, actually. I mean, obviously the Linux kernel is a fairly big one. LibreOffice 4.3 is out now. Let me just have a look at what's changed.
Well, you can now do 3D. You can include 3D animations in your presentations. As if we wanted or needed that. Death by PowerPoint 3.0. If you look at the Ars Technica story, it has this 3D duck in the document, and then it says duck. Actually, this is from the Apache Foundation.
Why? Okay. Did you know the amount of times I've been sat there working on like a presentation, and I've thought what this really needs is a 3D duck, and I just couldn't get one in there.
Exactly. This is
going to make such a difference to my life. I don't know how I can't put it into words.
In open source software, lack of 3D ducks.
Lack of 3D ducks in presentations. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe they'll come up with some other stuff that's more interesting. They have been working on OOXML support.
The Linux because we need that. The Linux kernel needs more 3D ducks.
Yeah. Well, you say we don't need, OOXML support, but isn't that important or whatever? But I don't know. I frequently get the problems at work with people sending me docx files, and I open them in LibreOffice, and then the fucking formatting goes all over the place, which is probably not LibreOffice's fault as much as it is Microsoft Office. But still.
Katie said that the other day as well, and I haven't had that in ages.
Oh, tables are a nightmare. Anything with a lot of tables in it just fucks it right up.
Well, I don't use anything with tables. I fucking hate tables.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't get much of a choice.
Fucking tables! I fucking hate tables!
Yeah, tables are nasty. If you want tables, use a spreadsheet. Yeah.
Fuck spreadsheets. If I want spreadsheets, I'll play EVE Online.
Okay.
Fucking, I hate it. I've got colleagues who put everything in a spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
How annoying is this? Put it in a fucking text document. Open a text editor. No, it's gotta have a fucking spreadsheet for like 4 numbers. Jesus Christ.
So you can write that awesome sum formula, which is the only one anyone who uses.
And diagrams. Have more diagrams.
Pivot tables.
As if we needed more fucking diagrams.
Pivot tables as well. They're always fun. Yeah, well, speaking of diagrams and so on, we mentioned the 3D duck. They've got support for OXML strict now, apparently. OXML graphics improvements, yada, yada, yada. But this is an interesting one. Embedding OXML files inside another I can't say this. I keep wanting to go, it's magic. Can't help it. It's magic. Anyway, yeah. Actually, that would have been an awesome. I don't know where I've got this from, but that would have been awesome.
XML, yeah.
No, if it had been like OpenOffice, I was thinking of, because their thing used to be OOO, OpenOffice.
Oh yeah.
They could have had OOO. It's magic. That would have been the perfect marketing slogan. Anyway, never mind. Yeah, so they've supported that now. 30 new Excel formulas. Woo! Support for MS Works. Oh god, spreadsheets and databases. Yada yada yada. Improvements to some of the Mac stuff as well. So there's lots of stuff in there apparently. LibreOffice, still my kind of office suite of choice. Although, as you say, I try and do stuff in text files and other things now. If I can get away with it.
I only use it. I do everything in text files. I only use it when like a colleague wants something I can't do in a text editor. Mm-hmm. Then I dump my text in there and do whatever he wants and give him that version. But I can't I do everything in text files because I have everything in Git, and it's so much better in text files and normal fucking text editors without fucking spreadsheets.
Well, unless you're an accountant and you need spreadsheets.
I'm not a fucking accountant.
No, I know you're not. I'm just saying in general, unless you're an accountant.
So if you can't do it properly in a command line, it's not worth doing.
Yeah. I don't know if you've noticed, you're getting some stick for that shirt in the IRC channel here. People want to know why you've got your dad's shirt on tonight. Why you borrowed your dad's shirt.
What the fuck? I like this shirt. It's a good shirt.
It's yeah.
It's colourful. It's one of my summer shirts.
I was going to say, for the benefit of the audio listener, I'll describe it. It's not actually it's a bit like a Hawaiian shirt, but it's more stripy. And it's kind of blue and yellow, light blue and yellow and black and stuff. Yeah, so there you go. Anyway, what have we got next on the list?
Got distracted by shirts. Oh yeah, XBMC changed its name to I forgot already. What was
Frank?
It?
No, sorry.
No, it's worth Cody. With a K. Kilo Oscar Delta India. Cody.
Why did they do that?
Apparently legal reasons.
Because it's got
and also, I thought it was cumbersome and it had something to do with Xbox, and apparently they talked to the SFLC.
Right.
And so they come out. I don't know. I don't buy the legal reasons. Doesn't make sense to me. Because I mean, XBMC has nothing to do with Xbox. It might have originally stood for that, but you could go as well. We're just called XBMC. It's like KDE was the cool desktop environment, and they just say it's just called KDE now. It doesn't stand for anything. And I don't think they're necessarily better off with Kodi.
I think. Well, I don't know about the legal situation.
Kojak,
I mean,
maybe, but
Kojak, yeah, that would be a reason to change it, the legal thing. But it's much like we talked about LibreOffice and OpenOffice and all that kind of stuff. And I lamented at the time when they split and they forked into LibreOffice. I know there was, reasons for that, but they lost all those years of building up the name of OpenOffice. They lost it all. And still, nobody knows what the fuck LibreOffice is. Nobody outside of the free software community knows what LibreOffice is. They always go, "Is that OpenOffice?" And you go, "Well, yeah, pretty much. Just install it." But now they're going to have the same thing. XBMC was doing really well. So does this mean? I noticed it was announced at xbmc.org. Yeah, does that mean it's going to move to Kodi.org before you know?
I don't know. I've got no idea.
Kodi.org's available. Hold on, let me just check.
Dan's just registering that and then extorting the developers.
Yeah. Okay, it's not resolving at the moment. Actually, I should have done a lookup, shouldn't I?
It'd be funny if they don't have the fucking domain.
Yeah, that would be a bit strange, wouldn't it?
Well, it's weird. I don't know. I think they should have just said, well, it doesn't stand for Xbox anymore, and it doesn't matter that it doesn't run on the Xbox these days. It's just called XBMC. I mean, there's so many things like VW, like. Nobody really knows that. Well, people do know, but it's like it doesn't matter that it stood for Volkswagen. Because if people knew that, then they remember that it was a Nazi car. But they don't change their fucking name. Like Coca-Cola didn't change its name because there's no Coke in it anymore.
True. Yeah, that's very true.
It's like professional companies don't do this. The only reason you change your name is like if something fucking horrible happened, like Malaysia Airlines is thinking about changing their name, which is probably a good idea. to not that crashy airlines or something.
Yeah.
Not actually from Malaysia.
Yeah, they need to change the name. Years ago, I remember there were a lot of Pan Am flights went down, and it wasn't long before.
Oh yeah, they changed.
There were loads of jokes about Pan Am and crashing and all that stuff. Meanwhile, Cody.com is owned by somebody, but it's not telling me who. I'm trying to find out who is on this, and it's taking ages to come up. I can say that the IP address is 74.86.205.85. If anyone's interested.
What's Cody.org? What's going on there?
Cody.org. .org's gone as well. So .org's gone. Here we go. Cody.org is registered by Henry Filter. No, Henry. GoDaddy. Oh, okay. Somebody registered it through GoDaddy apparently.
Well, Cody.com is registered to Henry Dotterer in Manlius, New York. That's an amazing town name, Manlius. The manliest town in the US.
Cody.org, is registered to Henry Dotterer as well. Yeah, so maybe he's I don't know, maybe he's got something to do with it.
He's from ProZ.com.
He registered this in 2004 apparently, so he's had it a long time.
Yeah, did they check domains before they changed their name?
I don't know. I tell you what is available.
They're gonna be like Cody.club or something.
No, they've got, according to my quick domain search, thecody.com is available. So I think they just need to change the name to thecody, and it's all be fine. And then they can have thecody.com or bestcody.com. It's also available.
Or something.
Yeah, although failing that, they're going to have like some weird, top-level domain that nobody wants.
Yes,
anyway,
.berlin. Cody.berlin.
.club. .club, or
which,
.tv.
We'll get to later.
That'll be what they do. Something like .tv because it's a TV, it's an interface for something like that. Anyway, so XBMC has changed its name. Next up, we got Open Whisper Systems, and we've talked about quite a bit over previous shows.
Did you know that Moxie Marlinspike is being paid by Shuttleworth?
Really?
He's a fellow of the Shuttleworth Foundation. Yeah, because I noticed on Open Whisper System it says like supported by the Shuttleworth Foundation or something at the bottom.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. Interesting. They've released.
Here we go. You were right. Cody.tv is registered to the XBMC Foundation.
Well, I guessed it already.
In Walnut, California. I think they'll have to change the name XBMC Foundation though.
Yeah, that's true.
Cody Foundation.
Is there anything on there? I'm just trying to load it. Oh, yeah, okay. So it's coming up with something. Oh, yeah, so it goes to XBMC already. So they're obviously in the process of changing this. And they're looking for logo ideas, apparently.
Breaking research on Linux Outlaws.
A call for logo ideas, it says, and it's coming up. Yeah. So they haven't done it yet because it still says XBMC Media Center.
Let's submit a. Right now it's just an URL frame. Let's submit a logo with something with Telly Savalas.
Yeah. Kojak. Yeah. Who loves you, baby? You could say it's the tagline.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah, they're they haven't. Looks like they haven't done it yet. I mean, you say breaking news, but probably by the time most people hear this on the podcast in a week's time, it won't be so breaking news. But you never know.
Well, it all depends on your perspective in space time, your relative position.
Yep.
If you're
all right.
traveling fast enough while you're listening to this, it's probably news from the future or something.
That's true.
I forgot how relativity works. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, but all I can think of is like Back to the Future and Marty McFly and all that, which is probably not scientifically correct.
We'll get emails of people explaining relativity to us. That was
well, we'll cut that out. You can cut that out. Anyway, so Open Whisper Systems have released Signal for iOS. And interestingly, it's under GPL v3, I believe. which is cool because I believe, I mean, I know it's not impossible to release GPL software through the Apple App Store, but I believe it's not as easy as it could be. Didn't they effectively try and stop people using that license? Or?
Well, I don't think they. Well, they gave up on that.
Oh,
and
okay.
I think the code of this on GitHub. Yeah, it worked kind of well. Tested it a bit. I'm gonna do more in-depth test review thing for CT at some point, I guess. Interestingly, this uses ZRTP, the same protocol that Silent Circle uses, the messenger on the black phone, the encrypt. Well, this only does voice right now, voice over data, VoIP, I guess, and well, it uses the same technology as the black phone, as Silent Circle, and it seems to work better, which is weird because this ZRTP protocol is from Phil Zimmerman, the PGP inventor, who does Silent Circle. So I think Moxie managed to implement it better than the guy who invented it. Which
that is very cool. Yeah. Also, they've got I know we talk too much about logos, but their logo is so much better than the Silent Circle one. I think I love that like crow thing, stood on it.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I was thinking. I thought you were talking about the Signal logo, which is just a speech bubble.
Sorry, no, not that particularly. I meant the actual Open Whisper
the
system.
Raven, yeah, their logo is awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. All right then, we got some news about the Apache Software Foundation.
It's also if you look closely at the logo, it's got a little message.
I've closed it now. Hold on. I'm gonna have to.
It's like what they're called? The pigeon. It's like a messenger pigeon, except it's a raven.
Oh yeah, tied to its leg. Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Oh, because when I first saw that, I thought it was a bionic raven. That would have been even better.
Bionic raven. Yeah.
I thought it was like a robot foot.
It could be. I thought Bionic Raven was like a metal band or something.
Yeah, that would be a good company name as well. Bionic Raven Incorporated.
I think that's more of a gaming company, it sounds like to me.
Yeah,
maybe that's just me. Meanwhile, Apache Software Foundation, they've exceeded 2 million commits. Okay. So I'm just having a look. Did anyone win something for being like the 2 millionth committer? Obviously not. So the Apache Foundation have surpassed its 2 millionth revision milestone. With a commit by Foundation member Daniel Culp, not John Culp, unfortunately, on behalf of the Apache CTX.
For a second, I thought it was him.
He patched in some better theme music for
exactly.
the web server or something. I don't know.
Or the classical guitar.
Yeah, that would be good. So apparently 4 years ago they passed the 1 million mark, and now they've hit the 2 million mark, and they've actually changed from Subversion to where are we now, to Git, and they've done all kinds of stuff. There you go, and they've put loads of stuff on GitHub, which isn't surprising. That's pretty cool, and it looks like they've got quite a lot of active projects. So let's have a look. We've got, obviously everyone knows the Apache web server, everyone knows that. Hadoop, very famous as well, which people are very into. CouchDB on there, Service Mix, Tomcat, I don't know if anyone still uses that. Cassandra, quite well known.
People use that.
Cassandra itself is a version control system, isn't it? If I'm right, am I right in thinking that?
God, no idea.
I thought it was. I'm gonna have to look that up now because I'm sure that's the one that. Isn't that the one that Linus said if it had existed at the time, he wouldn't have made Git?
Cassandra?
Yeah, I think so.
No, that's...
Apache Cassandra, here we go.
No, Cassandra is a cloud thing.
Management system, hang on, it's coming up now. Yeah. Maybe I've got it mixed up with something else. Designed to handle large amounts of data across many commodity servers.
Mixed it up with... Sorry.
Oh, hang on, I know what it is. It's Mercurial is what I was thinking of. For some reason.
Yeah, that's it.
For some reason, it doesn't sound anything like Cassandra, but I thought for some reason Mercurial was stuck in my mind. This is for asynchronous blah 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 data transfer between servers. So it's cloud stuff basically, as you were saying. Anyway, so meanwhile, back to the list. Solar, which is the search engine thing. But there's lots of fairly big projects in the Apache Foundation.
I actually thought there wasn't that many commits. Is that just me or?
For 2 million. For projects of that
it's
size.
a lot, but for the Apache Software Foundation, you'd think they have like 2 million for the bloody HTTPD thing alone. For Apache, the actual web server.
In the whole time, yeah, I suppose. Well, that's 1 million in 4 years if they've gone from 1 to 2. That's quite interesting. According to this, there are 3,500 committers successfully committed. So I don't know what on average that is, but I would imagine, like most projects, there'll be one guy who's just committed one thing like ever, and there'll be somebody who does like 10 a day.
Yeah, I think
whatever that seems to be the way it goes.
That's how it goes usually.
Yep, but still a good milestone for them. So congrats to the Apache Software Foundation.
Yeah, and I've just registered bionicraven.com.
Have you?
Oh, yeah, while we were going on about Apache.
Okay.
Yeah, what can I say? The Namecheap domain registration process is way too fast.
I use Namecheap as well, actually. And
I started using it on your recommendation.
Oh, okay. We're not getting sponsored by Namecheap or anyone else.
I would actively discourage you from using them because it's so easy to register domains with them that you just register too many domains. Anyway, I now own bionicraven.com.
Congratulations. I'm sure you'll think of something to do with it. You need just a picture on there or something.
That's got to be my naming company. My gaming company.
Your naming company?
Yeah, just name people. Right. You're a dickhead.
Right. Interesting. All right, and so what's this next one about? We got some Red Hat news. Sorry, Raspberry Pi we have. I said Red Hat because it's got hat in the title.
This
Sorry,
week.
no, I confused it.
The Raspberry Pi Foundation has introduced hats, which are, this is really hardware attached on top. A bit of a contrived acronym. Basically, with the... how they changed with the B version, what's the B+, the Raspberry Pi B+, they went to 40 header pins. And basically, they've standardized a way to do hardware attachment boards, what Arduino calls shields.
Yeah.
They've developed a standardized way that now actually, before, with the old pins, the Raspberry Pi couldn't know if anything was actually attached to that. It would just, believe you that you'd attached it, which could have problems with the drivers for the Linux kernel and shit. So now they have a way of detecting that, and they did a spec. People do not have to comply to the spec. You can still do hardware like people are doing right now, so everybody does whatever they want. But you can comply to this spec, and if you do, you can call it a hat. You can use the name, which is kind of cute, a hat for the Raspberry Pi,
It is a nice name, yeah. I'll admit that.
I learned this week that a motorcycle helmet is called a hat in English. Yeah, apparently, if you're a biker.
Okay.
Because I'm
in slang terms, yeah, maybe.
I'll be going hat shopping because I'll need a new helmet. Anyway.
You sure they weren't talking about Raspberry Pis?
No.
I've got a Raspberry Pi. I'm going hat shopping.
You never know. With the people that follow me on Twitter, you never know. Yeah, so they have a picture on the post what it looks like. It's also a special layout that has like screws, like mounting holes in different points. You can actually mount it and shit like that.
I like how they've stuck a piece of paper over it and written hat on it, so you can tell.
Yeah, that's to show what the board would look like.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's it looks cool, and I do like the acronym, the hat idea.
And so they're not forcing people to use it.
Well, that's good. That's
dun.
That's good. They do seem to come up with these acronyms, don't they? The Raspberry Pi Foundation. They must sit around thinking about it a lot because they had noobs for the software thing. Although to be fair, maybe they didn't come up with that. But there seems to be a lot of acronym action going on around the Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what's this next one about? Freshcode. Oh, is this is the .club thing you were talking about?
Yeah. Freshcode.club. That's a really shitty TLD. That sounds like your swinger club or something.
I wonder if fight.club's available. Let me just...
Oh my god, probably not.
Probably not, no.
Let's go to Namecheap. Yeah, they want to replace Freshcode, which shut down last month. and it's going to be all open source. Text content is going to be licensed Creative Commons by SA, and thingness.
And stuff and things.
Is Fight.club still available?
Hang on, it looks like it.
I'll be really disappointed if the Whois doesn't come up with Tyler Durden.
Yeah, exactly. It's having to think about it.
That. I like who.
Oh no, it isn't available. It's not available. What? Somebody's taken it. Who is? Oh, unable to find who is. Oh, well, that's weird.
Maybe whatever you're using doesn't support the new domains. I'm telling you, who.is a very good Whois website.
Well, let's try that.
Although this apparently it's still available. What?
Well, according to Namecheap, which you were just praising, it's already been bought. It says make an offer.
Huh.
Although I don't know, maybe there's some discrepancy there going on. Yeah, who.is.
No, that doesn't come up with it. So yeah, I was just praising that, and it's shit.
Okay. Well, let's stop praising stuff because we seem to be single-handedly. Yeah, we seem to be cursing it. All right, and so we got some other stuff to talk about. What's this one? Israeli kind of news here. Hackers, reportedly stole plans for Israel's Iron